Hello, it's Mrs. Thompson here again, and I'm going to talk you through today how to factorise into single brackets. This is actually grade D, C and B at GCSE or level 6, 7 and 8 at Key Stage 3. However, today I'm just going to be concentrating on the lower end stuff, which is grade D to C and level 6 to 7. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is what exactly do I mean by factorise? Well, factorising is the opposite of expanding brackets. So when we get rid of the brackets, like in this example here, we have expanded the brackets. So what we're looking to do when we factorise is we're looking to put the brackets back in. That's what we call factorising. We're looking to put the brackets back in. Okay, so we're going to use that to get us started on our first example. Okay, so the first example is this one here. We've been asked to fully factorise 6x plus 18. Now this expression has two terms. 6x is a term, and then the plus 18 is a term. We want to look for the highest number that goes into both 6x and plus 18, and that's what this fully factorise means. We could look for any number that goes into 6x and 18. So for example 2 goes into 6x and it goes into plus 18. However, it is not the highest number that goes into 6x and plus 18. The highest number that goes into both of these terms is in fact 6, and that 6 is the number that's going to go on the outside of our brackets. Now we need to ask ourselves, okay, so this 6, what do we need to multiply 6 by to get 6x? So the answer to that one is x. We now need to ask ourselves, what do we multiply 6 by to get plus 18? So the answer to that is plus 3. Okay, so we've taken the highest factor out of both of these. So the highest factor is 6x, and positive 18, remember you have to include the sign, is 6. So we've taken the 6 outside and then asked ourselves, what do we need to multiply 6 by to get each of these terms? And that is what goes inside the bracket. Okay, so very quickly I'm going to give you some questions to try. Okay, so these are the 3 questions I'd like you to give a go. If you want to pause the video, have a go at these, I'll give you the answers shortly. Okay, so the answers are here now. Question 1, when we factorise that, the highest factor common to both of these terms is 2, and then inside the bracket should be x plus 5. The next one, 3 outside the bracket, x plus 4 inside, and the last one, 4 outside the bracket, and x minus 4 inside. Okay, let's try something a bit more difficult. So this question is asking us to fully factorise 8x plus 12. Now this is an expression with two terms in it, 8x and plus 12. Now you notice in the first example I did, it was the number, the coefficient, that is the number in front of the x. So in this case, the coefficient of x is 8. Was the highest factor common to both terms. That was in the previous example. In this example, however, it is not the highest common factor. 8 is not a factor of 12. So what we need to do is we need to think, what is the highest factor of 8 and the highest factor of 8x that is also a factor of plus 12. So we're looking for the highest factors common to both of these. If you want, you can list the factors. So the factors of 8, we have 1 and 8. We also have 2 and 4. The factors of positive 12, we have 1 and 12. We have 3 and 4. Or we have 2 and 6. Okay? So what we want to do now is we want to look for the highest number that is in both of these lists of factors. So what we can do, we can see that the highest number in both of these lists is 4. So in actual fact, the 4 is what goes outside the bracket. We now need to ask ourselves, what do we multiply 4 by to get 8x? And the correct answer to that one is 2x. So we've dealt with this term here. We're now going to ask ourselves, what do we need to multiply 4 by to get plus 12, positive 12? The answer to that one is 3. Okay, so we have now fully factorised that expression. Remember, fully means we're looking for the highest common factor, not just any factor. We could have factorised this not fully by taking 2 out, because that is not the highest factor common to both of them. Okay, give you some questions to try. Okay, so give those 3 questions a go. Pause the video and I'll give the answers shortly. Okay, so those answers I'll put up now. Okay, and there they are. Let's try something a little bit more difficult. So sometimes the highest factor common to both terms will not be a number, it will be a letter or a variable, and that's what happens in this case. Now what we need to consider is look at both terms, x squared and plus 4x, and if you want, what you can do is you can write out the factors of those two. So for example, x squared, this first term here, we get by multiplying x by x. Secondly, 4x plus 4x we can get by multiplying plus 4 times x. Now we're going to look at both sets of our factors, and we need to see what is the highest factor that is common to both. We can see that we've got an x here, and we've also got either one of these x's here, it doesn't matter. But either way, the highest factor common to both is an x. So it is that x that's going to go outside of our bracket. Now we ask ourselves, how many x's are there in x squared? Sorry, what do we need to multiply x by to get x squared? And that is x. And then what do we need to multiply x by to get plus 4x? Well, we can see that that is just plus 4. So now we have fully factorised x squared plus 4x, and our answer is x outside the bracket, x plus 4 inside. Okay, your turn. So I'd like you to have a go at these questions. Again, pause the video and check the answers in a second. Okay, so the answers are here now. Okay, so if you think you've got the hang of those, let's move on to something a little bit more difficult. Everything we've done so far has been at level 6 or grade D. I'm now going to show you some grade C or level 7 material. So in this example we're being asked to fully factorise 2x squared plus 8x. So again, this has got 2 terms, 2x squared being one of them and plus 8x being the other. What I'd like you to do here is write out exactly what each term means. So this term here, 2x squared, means 2 times x times x. And this term over here, remember I always include the sign plus 8x. The factors of that, what that means, sorry, is plus 8 times x. Now, on this one here, not only have we got an x that is common to both of them, but we also need to look at our numbers. So with a level 7 or grade C work, it's not just a letter or a number that goes outside the bracket. There will be both. So what we want to do is, not only does the x go outside the bracket, let's do this in kind of lilac, not only the x that goes outside the bracket, but then we will also want to look at what is the highest factor between 2 and plus 8. What's the highest factor common to both of those? In this example, it is 2. So the 2 will go before the x. 2x goes outside the bracket. Then, as before, we ask ourselves, okay, what do we multiply 2x by to get 2x squared? So in this example, we're multiplying 2x by x, that gives us 2x squared. And then we need to multiply 2x by positive 4 to give us plus 8x. And now we have fully factorised the expression 2x squared plus 8x. 2x on the outside, x plus 4 on the inside. Okay, I shall give you some questions. Okay, so just to finish off, I'd like you to try and fully factorise each of these 3 expressions. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at completing those questions. I'm just going to put the answers up now. So there they are. You need to be careful with this last one because the highest factor of both 10 and 15 isn't 10, it is 5. So the last one is 5x outside the bracket and 2x plus 3 inside the bracket. I shall leave it there for today. That was this here, as I said, is level 7 or grade C. It becomes grade B when you add a second variable, and I shall do another video explaining how to do that, the grade B or level 8 work on factorising single brackets. But for the time being, I hope that's been very useful. Please do have a look on my YouTube channel for any other videos that might help you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.